What if I told you the single greatest mistake you make, the one that kills your deals, ruins your relationships, and makes you look weak, is showing up? Sounds insane, right? We're taught the opposite. Be there for them. Show your commitment. The early bird gets the worm. It's all hustle, all presence, all the time. But this constant availability, this desperate need to be seen and heard, is the very thing that is making you cheap. It's making you common. It's making you worthless. The real secret, the one that bends reality to your will, is understanding supply and demand. When something is abundant, its value plummets. Air is free because it's everywhere. Water from the tap costs almost nothing. But what happens when you're deep in the desert? A single bottle of water is worth more than gold. Its value didn't change. Its availability did. This isn't just about economics. It's about human psychology. It's hardwired into our lizard brains. We take for granted what is always there. The sun rises every single day. Nobody stops their car, gets out, and throws a party. But a solar eclipse? An event that happens rarely? People travel across the world. They buy special glasses. It becomes a legendary moment. The sun didn't get better. It just became scarce. It just went away for a little while. And what you need to understand is that while you are a commodity, your time, your attention, your approval, these are your personal currency. And every time you give them away freely, you're devaluing yourself. You're becoming tap water. You need to become desert water. Let's talk about the masterclass in this, a story of power, love, and obsession. Let's talk about Napoleon Bonaparte. Here's a man who conquered most of Europe, a man who commanded armies of hundreds of thousands, a man whose will could reshape nations. Yet, he was brought to his knees, driven to pathetic begging letters by one person, his wife, Josephine. When they first met, he was a young, ambitious general, and she was a worldly, sophisticated widow. He fell for her, hard. He wrote her passionate, desperate letters from his military campaigns. He was always present in his communication, always showing his hand, always declaring his undying love. And what did she do? She was busy. She had parties to attend. She had other admirers. She would delay visiting him, make excuses, and respond to his passionate novels with short, detached notes, if she responded at all. His presence was constant. Her presence was scarce, and it drove him insane. This conqueror of the world was obsessed, not with her beauty or her wit, but with her absence. The space she left behind was a vacuum that sucked all his attention into it. He couldn't conquer her attention, and that made it the most valuable prize in his entire empire. She made herself scarce, and in doing so, made herself priceless. By not being there, she was everywhere in his mind. This isn't just for seduction. The diamond industry is built on this principle. You think diamonds are rare? They're not. They are actually one of the more common gems. So why do they cost a fortune? Because a century ago, the De Beers Company realized this secret. They bought up all the diamond mines. They created a cartel, and then they hoarded the diamonds. They created an artificial scarcity. They released only a tiny, controlled amount onto the market each year. Then they flooded the world with marketing about how a diamond is forever, a symbol of rare and eternal love. They didn't sell a rock. They sold scarcity, they sold absence, and they built a multi-billion-dollar empire on a lie that became true simply because they controlled the supply. So, how do you use this brutal, effective weapon? It starts with learning to pull back, to withdraw. In a world where everyone is desperate for attention, your silence is a thunderclap. Don't be the first to text back. Don't always be available for that last-minute plan. Your calculated absence makes your eventual presence an event. It makes it a reward. When you're in a group or at a job, Don't be the person who always has an opinion, who always needs to speak. Speak less, but when you do, make it count. Your words will gain the weight of scarcity. When the constant talker speaks, it's just noise. When the quiet one speaks, everyone leans in. They have created value through their absence from the constant chatter. This is about resetting the power dynamic. When people take you for granted, your strategic withdrawal forces them to reevaluate your worth. They suddenly notice the void you've left. They start to wonder. They start to miss you. And in that moment of missing, your value skyrockets. You have taken the power back without a single word. Here are the key takeaways. First, your value is directly tied to your perceived scarcity. What is always available is always taken for granted. To increase your value, you must decrease your availability. Simple as that. Second, master the art of the strategic withdrawal. It's not about ghosting people or being a flake. It's a calculated move. You pull back to create desire, to command respect, and to make your return a moment of impact. And finally, remember that you are in control of your own supply. You decide how much of your time, your energy, and your attention the world gets. Don't flood the market. Make yourself a limited edition. Make yourself a solar eclipse in a world of sunny days. Because if you want people to crave your presence, you must first teach them the power of your absence.